till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag. Horse stock is a tag.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Protocol 36. Spectacular Spider-Man is a show a lot of people can't get enough of, for good reasons. As to most people, including myself, it's pretty much the best Spider-Man show out there, and agreed upon that it's one of the best adaptations of the character yet. And in today's video, I want to list off my top 5 favorite episodes of the show. Now just remember, this is just my opinion, so if there's an episode that you love that doesn't make it to the list, that's 100% okay. Let me know in the comments below what your top 5 favorite episodes of the show. As the beauty of being a fan of the show is that we all have different point of views and episodes that we love, so I would love to hear your top 5 in the comments below. Also, before we begin, if at any point you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you could drop a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. Now starting from the episode I really like, with number 5, going to number 1, my favorite. And starting with number 5, season 2 episode 4, Shear Strength. This episode takes place during the New Year's Eve, where it's been revealed that Otto Octavius, aka Doc Ock, is the master planner, trying to take over the world, and in doing so, he blackmailed Captain George Stacy to help him by taking his daughter Gwen Stacy hostage, leading to Spider-Man trying to save the day and Gwen at the same time. This episode wasn't only great, but it was also really entertaining, as the stakes and tension were really high, with Peter not affording to fail this time, as the whole world is depending on him, especially the girl he has feelings for. This episode truly shows how determined Peter Parker is, and that he will never be able to give up, no matter what, especially those who needs him, giving us a fantastic homage to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 33, not to mention his personal life gets even more complicated. The fact that this happens earlier in season 2 goes to show how strong the show is and continues to be throughout. Number 4, Group Therapy, season 1 episode 11. 6 of Spider-Man's most dangerous foes come together to take down the webhead once and for all, with Dr. Octopus leading them, and with the help of the Venom symbiote, Peter was able to defeat them. The action, first of all, is absolutely outstanding. The episode probably has my favorite action scenes in the show so far. How fluid it looks when Spidey, or should I say the Venom symbiote, is fighting the Sinister Six. And this is the episode, I believe, where Peter is starting to realize there's something not right about this suit, as he notices how the Venom symbiote pretty much took over his body while he was asleep. But of course, thanks to its influence on Peter, he just shrugs it off. The Venom symbiote has also taken over Peter Parker's body in the comics while he was also asleep, so it's pretty great that the creators of the show took that and implemented it into their own adaptation. It further goes to show how much homework they did when creating the show, as in this episode we saw that Aunt May received a heart attack, tackling dark themes and adding more guilt onto Peter Parker's conscience. Number 3, season 2 episode 13, The Final Curtain. This wasn't only the season 2 finale, but unfortunately also the last episode of the show before it was cancelled, ending with Peter Parker's final standoff against the Green Goblin, and continuing the mystery on who the Green Goblin is, until they finally revealed that it was actually Norman Osborn the entire time, and the way they executed it was absolutely amazing. The writing was fantastic, the action sequences were also phenomenal, no surprises there, but in the end we got a cliffhanger that may never be resolved, but also a little bit bitter, since Peter Parker never really got the ending that he wanted, also thinking that he was responsible for Norman's death, with the first episode of the series vowing to himself that nothing would happen to Harry's father, to thinking that he might have been the reason he was killed, but still a strong finale regardless. Number 2, Gangland, season 2 episode 10. This episode takes place during Valentine's Day, where it has different gangs and crime bosses coming together for a meeting, those being Doc Ock, Tombstone and Silvermane, who we finally get to see, having different ideas and plans on what to do for New York's crime organization. But eventually they find out that none of them called for the meeting, and it was revealed that Hammerhead was the one who planned the whole thing to make them fight so he can finally become the big man of crime. However, since it's Valentine's Day, you know what that means for Peter Parker: more relationship problems. And let's just say it wasn't easy for the poor guy, being with Liz Allen, still having feelings for Gwen Stacy. The Daily Bugle asked him to ditch his date and take pictures of the massive fight between the crime bosses, and changing up as Spider-Man to stop the fight and make sure that innocents aren't harmed. In this fight we finally get to see Spidey and Tombstone one-on-one, since the last time they fought was in episode 6 of season 1. Another amazing episode, with Peter being successful. Also, as a bonus, it has my favorite joke in the show.
You will pay the price for your constant interference, Arachnid!
Yeah, I'm kind of broke. How about you pay tonight and I'll owe you one?
And number 1, my favorite Spectacular Spider-Man episode, that being season 1 episode 12, Intervention. I see this episode as being the love letter to not only Spider-Man fans but also everything Spider-Man that came before. It was at this episode where I knew this was my favorite Spider-Man show and one of my favorite shows of all time. It was also the first time we get to see this version of Peter Parker's origin story in great detail. A lot of Raimi imagery and references, which is all throughout the show, but it's shown more evidently here in this episode, not to mention a few comic references too. Before this episode, we just got direct references to Ben and Peter Parker's past, but for this episode, it's more important than ever, as he uses everything he learned from Uncle Ben and everyone else to show what makes him the person that he is today, becoming the very man Uncle Ben hoped that he would have become, showing all the good deeds that were done by him and to him. I think it would be the understatement of the year if I said this episode was truly special. So, this is my top 5 list of my personal favorite Spectacular Spider-Man episodes. If you have your own list, please list it off in the comments down below. I would love to hear what your favorite episodes were. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and want more, subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.